Jaclyn Hill's closing Jaclyn Cosmetics, and I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on the image that she posted, as well as like things that have been floating around the internet. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We just recently learned in Instagram land that Jaclyn Hill is closing Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. Now, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is actually owned by Forma Brands, which has been going through a bankruptcy. I don't know if the bankruptcy is done yet because I haven't heard anything about being like closed. The only thing that keeps coming out is that like Forma owes people more money. So I don't think that the bankruptcy is actually like over with yet. But Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics was a part of Forma Brands. It was one of their makeup lines, and it's actually closing. It was announced on Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics by Jaclyn herself. And today I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to react and read this image and kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions on what's going on with Jaclyn Cosmetics. We're going to do this in a get ready with me style because I really like doing it that way. And if you guys haven't seen my Makeup Geek Academy video, definitely go check that out. It is on my channel, and I will try linking it for you. But I also did kind of a get ready with me style video with that, as well as we kind of listened to the video that Marlena had, posted live on her channel. And we kind of, like, we reviewed what she was saying, talked about it, discussed it. And I wanted to sit down and look at this image that Jaclyn posted, as well as some of the other things that she's also been posting on social media, and dissect it and give you guys my honest thoughts, like react to her image. Before we get into this video, if you guys like unfiltered makeup opinions and honest reviews, hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave me a comment down below. Let's get into this. And we'll try and linking everything that I'm using in the description box down below. I know I forget, guys. I know I do. I did use the caffeine solution from The Ordinary just around my eyes, and then also the Tatcha Dewey Skin Cream. I love that stuff. It's so good. And it's very like moisturizing because it's very dry in upstate New York right now. Jaclyn Hill, who is one of the another OG YouTuber here on the platform, she announced that her brand Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics will be shutting its doors, and it will no longer be, it says for the foreseeable future. Actually, I should make the note of that in there. So Jaclyn said, 2023 has come to an end, and it's truly been a transformative year for me. The joy you're seeing in me is real. However, the road to get there has come with a lot of tough realities and decisions I have had to make as well. Okay, so if you guys haven't been kind of keeping track of Jaclyn, she actually posted not too terribly long ago that she recently gave up alcohol and has been losing a lot of weight. And this is all over on her YouTube. Now, I had to hop on over to her YouTube because I actually unsubscribed from her a while ago. I think a lot of people might have unsubscribed from her because of her support for certain people in the beauty space, along with like other things that are going on. Has recently made claims that she stopped drinking and that she started refocusing on herself, and that with that came closing a lot of her brands. And a lot of her brands are like her Jaclyn Roxanne jewelry line, and then she had like a Co's line that was like a comfort line, and that Co's comfort line came with a lot of drama as well because she actually stole the name from a smaller creator on the platform who had been doing business as Co's for like years and years and years, and there was like a ton of controversy behind it, and that person ended up losing her small business because of Jaclyn. So that's what Jaclyn means by like a lot of things are changing, and 2023 has made me self-reflective. She closed all her brands, and everybody was not really sure if Jaclyn Cosmetics was going to be a part of that because Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is technically owned by Forma, not by Jaclyn, even though her name is on the brand. And that also kind of came to light when Morphe was going through its bankruptcy documents, that we found out that like Jaclyn is actually owned by Forma Brands. With that being said, I have decided to close the doors on Jaclyn Cosmetics for the foreseeable future. Foreseeable future to me means the brand could make a comeback. I'm using the Tower 28 concealer. So foreseeable future to me means that the brand could make a comeback. Like, when I hear verbiage like this, it definitely, to me, makes me think of, I think it's Marc Jacobs Beauty, which is technically not making anything right now. They didn't technically close their doors, but they kind of did something similar to like what Jaclyn is doing, where they will not be in business for like the foreseeable future. Like, they've told people that they are coming back, and they've announced that they're coming back, and they're actually coming back stronger and better than ever. But they did kind of like close their doors for the foreseeable future. So when I hear her say like foreseeable future, is it possible for the brand Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics to come back? I think yes, but it may not be called Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics at that point, because keep in mind, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is still owned by Morphe, by Forma Brands. So if Forma Brands goes under, that means that Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics goes under, and I don't believe that she would be able to use that name for any kind of purpose, because technically the brand is not owned by her. Like, she's not the brand owner, she's just the face of the brand. So that's something really to keep in mind, is that could she have a cosmetics line that is re-released? I think so, but I don't know if it's gonna be under the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, or it could be Hill Cosmetics. But if if Forma goes under the way that it's kinda looking like they are going under, then I don't foresee it being Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics that, like, makes a comeback. There has been plenty of talk, but what I will say is the brand has been such an important chapter in my book, and one I will always cherish, but I'm ready to close. And honestly, I don't believe she really had a say in whether or not the brand was going to stay open or close, because, again, she doesn't own the brand. It's owned by Forma, and Forma is going through bankruptcy, and I just don't think that they can afford to keep the brand open. All right. First, I want to thank each and every one of you for the support and love you have shown me in this brand. You let the girl dream, and that's what I did. I still have those dreams, but to properly pursue them, I am going to need time and patience to do so. I also want to thank Ulta for continuing to believe in me, supporting my brand and future endeavors. I don't take that lightly. Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is an Ulta Beauty. You can purchase her products from Ulta, or you can purchase them from the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics website. And Ulta was very, very, very prompt in picking up the Jaclyn name, the Jaclyn Cosmetics product. Like, she got into Ulta, like, super fast, I feel like. Typically, you don't really see a brand get into Ulta super fast unless, like, their sister brand is already in there. And I think when her brand got into Ulta, I think that it was already owned by Forma, and that's kinda like when the takeover happened, when she had such an issue with the lipsticks that Forma kinda, like, took over from there. Or it could just be that, Forma was involved in it the whole time. I really don't know, but Ulta has housed Jaclyn Cosmetics for quite a while now. I wanna say, like, 3 years, and through a lot of her launches. And the only launch that they really didn't have a part in was her lipsticks and her original highlighter palettes, and after that, she was in Ulta. So she's been in Ulta for, like, I wanna say 3 years, at least 3 years, and Ulta has diligently stood by her as there has been controversy after controversy. They haven't removed the brand from the website. They have actually, I mean, like, right now, it's all on sale, which we'll get to that in a minute, but overall, Ulta has kept the brand. They did not distance themselves from the brand, even with the Morphe bankruptcy issues. And so, yeah, Ulta has been, there through it all. So that's kinda an interesting that's very interesting if you ask me, because there's been some other brands that have kinda left Ulta randomly, and we don't really know why. To make it very clear, I am so excited for the future. I'm in the best mental and physical health. I have an unbelievable support system through all of you and my family. I'm finally feeling like myself again. I am incredibly grateful to be where I am in life, and can't wait to continue to grow in all aspects of it. Thank you so much, and I wish you and your loved ones a healthy and happy, blessed 24. Just to kind of close it out, like, I'm in a good mental state. I'm in the best mental state that I have been in, she has been claiming on her YouTube videos that she's not really been in like the best mental state as of late, and she's been struggling with some things, which like I get it because a lot of people struggle with mental health. I do. I know people who struggle with mental health. So like it's when you're in your weakest moments that you make the weirdest decisions, and her saying that like I'm in a really good mental state to be able to make this decision. Um it's trying to let us know that like she's making this in good faith and she's not just making it on a whim, and that it's something that she's been thinking about for a while. But also with that being said, it kinda makes me wonder, again, because she's just the face of the brand, she's not the actual brand owner. Like, is she really the decision maker behind the choice to close the brand? Like, this statement really has me like, I understand she's in a really good place, like, mentally where she can make a decision like this, but I'm kinda left with the question, like, was she actually involved in the decision-making process? Or is it just something that, like, because she's the face of the brand, she had to write a statement and she had to say, like, "I'm doing good, but my brand is closing." And throughout the entire post, there's verbiage in there that's, very reminiscent of the fact that, like, she is closing Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, but there could be more coming from her makeup-wise. Like I said closer to the beginning of this video, there's definitely because she's owned by Forma, because the brand is owned by Forma Brands, it's very, very possible that she's having to close down the brand because Former just can't afford it anymore, which that would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me if, she's making these statements giving hope that something's going to happen out of it, but really I think it's Forma behind the intent, and it's Forma behind the decision to close the brand because in my humble opinion, I don't think she is, like, the driving force behind the brand closing because she's not the owner of the company. Forma Brands is the owner of the brand. So, I love that they have Jaclyn who is, like, giving messages and, telling the people, like, "This is my decision." But a lot has come to light recently about Jaclyn Cosmetics and about who owns Jaclyn Cosmetics because of the Forma bankruptcy, and we all know now that Forma Brands owns Jaclyn Cosmetics. Like, if I remember correctly, it was released with Forma Brands that they are majority everything, they own the brand, and Jaclyn's pretty much just, like, the pretty name and the pretty face, and they're using her name and face, but she doesn't have really like, she doesn't have any decision-making power with the brand. And if you guys know anything, leave me a comment down below about like that whole situation because I definitely feel like I definitely feel like she doesn't have like say in Jaclyn Cosmetics because she's not really like shareholder. She's not anything. Leave me a comment down below if you know anything, if you've been following the Forma bankruptcy at all. The last thing that I followed was that Jaclyn was not Jaclyn, but Forma Brands was having a lot of issues with still owing people a lot of money. And the last time I had really checked on the Forma bankruptcy, I'd seen that like somehow Demi Lovato was owed money. I don't know how, and that's something that I have to look into as well. But that was just recently, so it really makes me wonder if I don't think that the Forma bankruptcy is over by any means, and I feel like the decision to close Jaclyn Cosmetics was solely made from Forma Brands, and that Jaclyn is kinda like the guinea pig in this instance. They didn't really give, like, a closing date, just that, they're not gonna be producing product, it's closed for the foreseeable future. So there are some items that are available on the Ulta Beauty website that are 50% off, and I get, like, you need to get rid of your stock and stuff, I totally get that. Um, so I was actually watching a podcast the other day, and they were talking about the fact that Jaclyn Cosmetics has been seen in Marshalls for a while now, and they were saying, like, we kinda because everything was in Marshalls, we kinda saw it coming that, the brand was in trouble, and now that it's been confirmed, they're like, "Why should you spend" you know why should you only get 50% off at a at your Ulta or at Jaclyn Cosmetics when you can get it for like 80% off at Marshall's. And I thought that was kind of funny that she's already had her brand in Marshalls for a while. And typically things don't go to Marshalls unless they're like not selling very well and they're not moving on the shelves like at a regular retail store. And then they send it to they send it to a Marshalls to be deeply discounted to maybe make a little bit of money back. We have been seeing Jaclyn Cosmetics at Marshalls for a while now. It's not really a big shock to see it at Marshalls because she hadn't really come out with anything new. I believe the last launch that she had was her Mother's Day launch, which was in May of 2023. We're sitting here in January of 2024. So that is over 6 months ago. I mean, May is right around the corner. If you really think about it, it's only like 4 months away. So her last launch that I can remember was her Mother's Day launch. Obviously the brand didn't do anything for Christmas. We didn't hear from the brand at Christmas because it's been going through legality with Forma brands. That's a whole other thing, is like this entire time that Jaclyn Cosmetics has been, in business, but it is a part of that whole Forma thing. They haven't been releasing new product, which makes sense because, like, why would you wanna make new product for a brand that might go under anyway? Why would you wanna make new launches? But at the same time, like, if you had the thought of keeping it open, like, why wouldn't you kinda explore the idea of new launches? Because like, Morphe brands, like the Morphe brand has been, pushing new product. They've been really promoting themselves, I should say. I don't know if they've really been making new product, but Morphe, the brand Morphe, not Forma brands. Morphe has really been pushing themselves with like advertisements, and their stuff has really been on sale lately. So do not be surprised if we actually see Morphe go out of business as well. I think at first, like if you guys had told me that Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics was closing like a year ago in 2023, I probably would have been a little bit more shocked. But ever since, there's been a lot of stuff coming out about Jaclyn Hill and how she's very like a sketchy person in general. And especially with like all the podcasts that had come out with Marlene Estelle. I'm now not surprised that I'm not surprised that Jaclyn's brand is closing. And if, like I said, if you guys had told me probably like a year ago that her brand was closing, I would have been in a little bit more like shock and awe, because I would have been like, oh, like I didn't know that her brand was like in that bad of a spot. And I probably would have been really shocked at that point because she'd been doing so well and a lot of people had been reviewing her product and like really raving it. But now, with all of the controversy behind Marlene Estelle, James Charles, and just Jaclyn Hill's like controversy herself. So, I mean, we could be in a situation where they keep Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics open so they can sell out of all of the remaining product, kind of like what Makeup Geek did. But the brand is closing. There's no real tentative date when it's going to be taken down. The brand is closing. There's like products up on her website. There's products on Ulta that you can purchase that are 50% off. Should you buy it? That should be another video. If you wanna see that video about Jaclyn product that you should or should not buy because it's on sale, leave me a comment down below and I can work on one for you because I've tried a lot of her product before. But thank you guys so much for watching, staying tuned to this video, and I hope you guys really like content like this. Please consider subscribing, like this video so much you can see more of me, and I hope I get to see you again. Bye!